Alright guys, it is Tuesday, April 13th, 2021 at 4:17 p.m. Alright, so this is like my third video today. Sometimes you make a lot of videos, sometimes you don't. Alright, let's start. We have a mystery wire podcast. Pyramid-shaped UFOs swarm above Navy destroyer. Just came across this saying, Mystery Wire. Amazing images have been leaked from a secretive Pentagon investigation of UFOs. The task force has been gathering evidence for a comprehensive report for Congress, which is due in June, that includes photographs and videos of UFO encounters with U.S. military assets, including Navy destroyers off the Southern California coast. Part of the report is due to educate other military and intelligence officials about the nature of the UFO mystery. The new images were gathered by the task force and obtained by investigative filmmaker Jeremy Corbell, who confirmed their authenticity. Mr. Wire has independently confirmed that the visual materials are included in the briefing presentation prepared by the UAP task force. They have some images here. It says, USS Omaha observed the possible UAS or spherical in shape moving towards the surface of the water, then disappearing. Omaha assessed the object had sunk. Attempts to search for the water for wreckage were ineffective. And then they also show here Navy images showing trans-medium sphere travel from the air to underwater. And then another image, or multiple images, from USS Russell observing three UAS, seemingly triangular in shape from the angle of observation, hovering approximately 700 feet over RSL's fantail. Two of the UAS were pictured above. One remarkable video recorded in July 2019, still images of the video recorded by the U.S. Navy showing pyramid-shaped UAPs flying above USS Russell. Says one remarkable video was recorded in July 2019 by naval officers using night vision device showing what appeared to be pyramid-shaped objects hovering above 700 feet above the Navy destroyer. I'll leave the link for this article so you guys can watch that video if you feel like watching it. It says the video was taken on deployment from USS Russell. Corbell said it shows that described as vehicles, and they made a great distinction. They made sure that in this classified briefing, they made a great distinction that it is not something that we or either a black project, that is not something of a foreign military, but these were behaving in ways that we did not expect, and they were known shaped non-aerodynamically like pyramids. They were flying pyramids. The video is set on several forms of visual evidence gathered by the UAP task force to document bizarre encounters reported by the U.S. Navy during the past 2 years, including photos of three stationary drones of unknown origin, reported earlier this week. This is a developing story. Mr. Wire will update the story as needed. And that's the end of the article. Alright, so I'll leave the link for this page so you guys can check it out. This is just new information that was released about the UFOs. Task force is being pretty much gathering information for the report it's releasing in June and July. Basically this summer they have to release a whole bunch of information about UFOs. So this is just new information that was gathered. Now let's take a look at the next story. Why is that in the sky? Witnesses see rare fireball explode in the sky over Florida. A bright meteor lights up Florida night sky. A meteor was spotted lighting up the sky in different parts of Florida on the night of April 12, 2021 in West Palm Beach, Florida. Skies over Florida from Jacksonville to Miami were lit up by a rare type of fireball late Monday that prompted calls to the National Weather Service, nearly 200 reports of the American Meteor Society. Mike Hankey, the operations manager for the American Meteor Society, said the fireball is technically a bolide, meaning it blows up after entering Earth's atmosphere. A bolide. I apologize. A bolide. This is a special type of fireball that ends with a large burst of light and often a boom sound, Hankey said. Some social media U.S. users reported hearing a sonic boom. CBS 12 reporter Jay O'Brien said he captured a video of the streak across the sky while on Facebook Live. Oh my gosh, what is that in the sky? A voice says in videos of Brian posted to Twitter. So I'll leave the link for this article and you guys can check out all the videos. It says, whoa, big flash and streak across the sky on West Palm Beach. Happened moments ago while we were on Facebook Live on CBS 12. So they have multiple links here for that fireball that was seen in the sky. It says, Hankey said, based on the speed of the characteristics of the fireball, it was likely a piece of an asteroid. But whether it was a piece of the recently recognized 2021 GW4 is in question. And that asteroid is composed of rock, iron, or icy debris, which that is usually considered inactive as far as not shedding pieces of itself. A comet is a cauldron of gas, dust, ice, and rocks that has a glowing head and tail, leaves a tail of debris in its wake. So pretty much they encountered a fireball and it exploded over the Florida sky. Let's take a look here at the next 5 asteroid approaches from NASA's Jet Propulsion Laboratory, California Institute of Technology. We have an approximate size of a 9.3 feet. Name of the asteroid is 2021 GC8. Is about the size of a car. The closest Earth approach is 135,000 miles from Earth. It will be passing today, April 13, 2021. Then the next asteroid is about the size of a bus, 20 feet its approximate size. The name is 2021 GE6. Its closest Earth approach is 693,000 miles from Earth, and that will be passing by on April 15th, 2021. The next asteroid is about airplane size. The approximate size is 130 feet. The name is 2021 GQ2. The closest Earth approach is 1,820,000 miles from Earth, and the date that it will be passing by will be April 15th, 2021. Then the next asteroid is an airplane size. The approximate size is 70 feet. The name of the asteroid is 2020 UY1. And its closest Earth approach is 3,810,000 miles from Earth. It will be passing by on April 15th. Then the last asteroid of the top 5 asteroids is approximate size is 32 feet, is about the size of a bus. The name is 2017 HD4. The closest Earth approach is 1,810,000 miles from Earth. The date it will be passing by is April 16th, 2021. Those are the top 5 or the next 5 asteroid approaches that will be passing close to Earth. And finally, they are not alone. UFO reports surged in the pandemic. So a lot of UFO reports have been happening now that we're in the pandemic. We don't know why, if it's has to do with people being locked up and having more time to go out in their yard and look up at the sky, or what the real reason is. Maybe it's because time is getting closer for Jesus' return, and you never know what these UFOs are. I believe that they could be aliens, and aliens could be fallen angels, and it could be bad stuff. But let's take a look at the article. It says they are not alone. UFO reports surge in the pandemic, with skies lacking, light pollution, and mostly nights free. New Yorkers reportedly nearly twice as many mysterious sightings last year. It says in the years since she says extraterrestrial beings took her from her suburban yard outside Rochester, New York, Virginia, Stringfellow has kept her story mostly within a close-knit community of people who say they have also encountered UFOs. But over the past year, the pool has grown. Each of our monthly locals only UFO meetups average about 5 new people who believe they have seen a mysterious object in the sky, not including about 50 out-of-towners who have tried to join. I have to turn people away, said Miss Stringfellow, who is 75 years old. Sightings of unidentified objects in 2020 nearly doubled in New York from the previous year to about 300, according to data compiled by the National UFO Reporting Center. They also rose to about 1,000 nationwide to more than 7,200 sightings. But according to ufologists, prolonged ufologists, as those who study the phenomena call themselves, the trend is not necessarily the result of an alien invasion. Rather, it was likely caused in part by another invader, the coronavirus. Pushed to stay home by lockdown restrictions, many found themselves with more time to look up. In New York, droves of urbanites fleeing the virus took up residence in places like the Catskills and Adirondacks, where skies are largely free from light pollution. About a quarter of the reports nationally came in March and April of last year, when lockdowns were at their most strict. Glimmers wobbling across the sky have gone viral on TikTok, racking up millions of views. Longtime UFO enthusiasts say the pandemic clearly has more people scanning the night skies, but there is another reason that the public might be newly receptive to the ideas that flicker on the horizons is worth reporting. The Pentagon revealed over the summer that it will soon convene a new task force to investigate so-called unidentified aerial phenomena observed from military aircraft last year. It declassified 3 videos of such sightings. So here's one of the videos that there's a link there for if you guys feel like checking it out. That shows the 3 previously leaked or declassified videos. In addition, a 2.3 trillion appropriations package, signed by former President Donald Trump late last year includes a provision that the Secretary of Defense and Director of National Intelligence collaborate on a UFO report and release it to the public. So that's what I was talking about earlier. They're having to release new reports because of the bill that passed. It says it is encouraging to many of us in the field of ufology that the government is willing to confirm that they are aware of these circumstances, that they are conceding that people are reporting these events, said Peter Davenport, the director of the UFO Reporting Center, known as NUFORC. Previously, he said the government appeared to have believed that people like me are just crazy, and we're not. Mr. Davenport and his peers are quickly to point out that any uptick in sightings does not mean a spike in flying saucers. Unidentified flying objects are just that, airborne phenomena that have not been yet identified. The vast majority of sightings called in to the reporting center are swiftly determining to be things like birds, bats, satellites, planes, drones, he said. A number of sightings in Idaho last year were quickly identified as satellites launched by SpaceX, Elon Musk's private space company, which launched a large number of small internet satellites that were temporarily visible from the ground after they reached orbit. Other viral TikTok videos of objects hovering in New Jersey last year turned out to be the Goodyear blimp. A skilled UFO investigator is one of the most skeptical people around, Mr. Davenport said. Only a small fraction of reports scrutinized by NUFORC, which is based in Washington State, are truly not identifiable. That portion has not changed even as more calls have poured in, according to the director. Ufologists are frequently prickly when it comes to the subject of apparent increases in UFO sightings, warning that bumps occur with regularity over the years and are a favorite subject of the news reports. The coverage itself may also drive up so-called sightings, they warn. In New York City, dwellers have tried to escape the virus by relocating to the countryside. They have driven up rural sightings, said Chris DePerno, the assistant director of New York State branch of Mutual UFO Network, a nonprofit organization that uses civilian investigators to study UFOs or reports of UFOs. Absent urban lighting pollution, he said, the transplants are taking new notice in the night sky and whatever it may be in it. They come up towards the Hudson Valley. It's beautiful up there, and you can see clear skies, and then all of a sudden you see this thing zipping up through the sky that stopped on a dime, that goes straight up, that takes off, stops, and comes back. We're talking incredible speeds, Mr. DePerno reported, police detective. With the COVID thing, more people are looking up, he said. The seeming uptick in reports has come as a relief to some who say they've seen mysterious floating craft, but fear that we are not alone. Because of the Pentagon being outed, there is even more news now. There's more reporting now, said Mrs. Stringfellow, who goes by Cookie. People aren't so afraid to say, oh geez, I was in the woods now, or I was by a lake and this thing came down. But for a 65-year-old retired New York State police officer from Grainesville along the state border with Vermont, who asked not to be named because of the worried about the ongoing public with his belief of UFOs and extraterrestrial life, full acceptance still feels a ways off. A lingering fear of ridicule may be suppressing the true numbers of UFO sightings. He suggested there might be, in fact, be more out there. He urged city folks to stay calm should they see a UFO, just as he did on the evening about 30 years ago when he said he spotted a football field's long object floating beside the Taconic State Parkway, and he finished a patrol shift. And most importantly, he said people should not let fear of being mocked prevent them from reporting what they see. If enough people report UFOs when they see them, the retired officer added, the world will believe and that they are telling the truth. Alright, so I'll leave the link to this article and you guys can check that out as well. I'm gonna close the video in saying I've seen UFOs, growing up. As a kid, I think what was like 5 or 7 years old, I saw something, but I was mostly scared. The first feeling I get with UFOs and this kind of stuff is don't like it, get away from me kind of feeling. I've always felt that it's a curious thing. I've studied books and read many books on it and seen reports and followed TV shows and had a passion with studying the UFOs. But once I discovered that they weren't good beings, and that was my first instinct feeling when I first saw one, was, it's not good stuff. So stay with God, stick with Jesus. And I've heard many reports of if you encounter any aliens or bad things, say the name of Jesus Christ and they should flee from that. So stay in the Bible, stay in Jesus, and I'll continue sharing reports of UFOs and the technology that I keep finding that is being declassified from this information. Alright guys, see you next time. God bless you guys, and see you on the other side. More and more reports are happening. Alright, God bless you guys.